Most people think houses remember things like footsteps, creaks in the floor, marks on the walls. But this house remembered something worse. It remembered him. In 2018, a man named Caleb Rowan bought a foreclosure house in rural Pennsylvania. No neighbors, no nearby highway, just trees, fog, and an old two-story structure that had been empty for years. The price was suspiciously low. The realtor explained it simply. Previous owner passed away. No family. House sat vacant. Caleb didn't ask how the owner died. That was mistake number one. The house looked normal. White siding, green shutters, a porch that creaked the way porches always do. Inside, everything felt unfinished, not abandoned, paused. Dust lay evenly on every surface, like no one had disturbed the air itself. But what unsettled Caleb wasn't what he saw. It was what the house didn't have. No mirrors, not in the bathroom, not in the bedrooms, not even a small one above the sink. He figured they'd been removed during the foreclosure. People take things. The first week passed quietly. Caleb unpacked, set up his home office, and learned which floorboards complained under his weight. At night, the house was silent. Too silent. No insects, no wind noise, no distant animals. It felt like the house was holding its breath. On the 8th night, Caleb woke suddenly. There was no dream, no sound, just the distinct, prickling feeling of being watched. He lay perfectly still, staring into the darkness of his new bedroom. Then he heard it. A sound not from outside but from inside the walls. Breathing, slow, measured, and somehow matching his own. He held his breath, and so did the house. The next morning, he found something strange. In the hallway, where there had been nothing before, was a faint handprint. It wasn't dusty or muddy, it was indented, as if the plaster wall had softened for just a moment and been pressed from the inside. Caleb touched it. The wall was cold and hard. He told himself that stress and isolation could do strange things to a person. So he installed security cameras, one in the living room, one in the hallway, one in the bedroom. Not for ghosts, he thought, for peace of mind. The first night with the cameras running, nothing happened. The second night, the hallway camera recorded movement. At 2:14 a.m., the footage showed Caleb asleep in his room, and the hallway was occupied by a shape. It wasn't walking or crawling, it was just standing upright. It had no features, just a human outline made of shimmering distortion, like heat rising from asphalt on a summer day. And it wasn't facing the camera, it was facing Caleb's bedroom door. Caleb didn't watch the rest of the footage. He unplugged the entire system and spent the night on the couch with every single light on. That's when he noticed something else. The house smelled different at night, warm, stale, like breath trapped in a small space for too long. On the third night, the power went out. Not the neighborhood, just the house. Caleb lit candles. The shadows they cast didn't behave normally. They stretched in directions opposite the flame, clinging to corners where they shouldn't be. Then he heard footsteps upstairs, slow, deliberate, heavy. He shouted up the stairs, his voice cracking. No answer. Heart pounding in his chest, he climbed the stairs. The footsteps stopped right at the top. The hallway was empty, but one door was open, a room he hadn't used. Inside, the walls were bare, except for markings, lines etched into the plaster at head height. Hundreds of them, each one the same height, each one the same depth, as if someone had stood in the exact same place, over and over and over, measuring themselves. Caleb backed away slowly. The door closed on its own, not slammed, closed gently, like a habit. That night he dreamed he was standing in the hallway watching himself sleep, but when he tried to move he couldn't. His feet were rooted to the floor. The house wouldn't let him. He woke up with a nosebleed and something else. His reflection. There was a mirror now. In the bathroom. It was old, cracked, and hanging crookedly on the wall where there had been nothing before. He stared at it, at his own tired face. The reflection stared back. Then it smiled. Caleb hadn't in a panic. He grabbed the nearest heavy object and smashed the mirror. But the pieces stayed intact on the wall, a web of cracks spreading across the glass, unbroken, and every shard was still reflecting him. That evening, frantic, he started tearing at the floorboards looking for anything. He found a loose one in a closet and pulled it up. Beneath it was a small metal box containing paperwork, old documents, property records, and medical reports. The previous owner's name was Caleb Rowan. Same spelling, same birth date, same middle name. The reports described a patient suffering from severe memory loss and identity confusion. Episodes of believing the house was alive. The final note from a doctor read, "Patient believes the house is learning him." Suddenly, the security cameras turned on by themselves. The monitors flickered to life. Caleb stared at the live feed. The hallway empty then. The shape appeared again. It was clearer now, more detailed. It had his posture. It mimicked his movements. Its face was slowly forming. incorrectly, like a bad sketch, like the house was guessing. Learning him, a knock came from upstairs, from the unused room. 3 slow knocks, a pause, 3 more knocks. The door on the monitor creaked open. Inside stood someone wearing his clothes. It had his face, but it was stretched slightly too wide, the eyes a little too far apart. It spoke, but its mouth didn't move. A voice echoed through the house, seeming to come from the walls themselves. "You can rest now." The cameras recorded the final moments, Caleb stepping backward down the hall, the thing stepping forward to meet him, the hallway lights flickering wildly, and then silence. The house was listed for sale again 6 months later. Another foreclosure, no explanation given. New buyers noted something odd about the property. The house had mirrors now, in every single room, and if you look closely into any one of them, you'll notice the reflections blink at different times, because the house remembers, and it's still practicing.